team that we just played, Memphis. Explosive offense. Coach Norvell is a really good football coach. Just proud of the way our kids fought. A lot of things, the momentums of this game, just the ups and downs, the ebbs and flow of the game. Things look bleak, then they look great, then they look bleak, then they look great. And our kids just kept fighting. Just the resolve of our young men. Just couldn't be more proud of them. Again, that's a good football team. And to come out with the victory here, couldn't be more pleased. But I tip our hat to Coach Norvell and, in Memphis, and we feel very fortunate to come out here with the W.
Questions?
Hey, Ken, what can you say about Will Ward's performance? 200 yards, counted for 5 touchdowns, channeled as inner Keenan Reynolds.
First, I can see my wife brought my glasses. I can't see anything. Looks like a lot. He rushed for a lot. It looks like. Just our kids and our team has just taken on his personality. He's just a tough, hard-nosed, resilient kid, a really good leader. On the sidelines, he just does a really good job of rallying our guys to get them to bounce back. Things again started off not too good for us, but great game. To rush for 205 yards. I'm super proud of him. But that's what this school is about. That gives you so much pride in the school. Here's a guy, like I said, that was a backup, kept his mouth quiet, and now he's doing great things. It just makes you feel really good to be at a place like this. But tremendous performance by him.
Can you speak to the play the defense made there to kind of force that fumble there to set up that touchdown?
It's just, again, just the ebbs and flow. We could never, kind of get it going. They had moved the ball defensively, and then, seemed like with ease, at times we felt like we should have stopped them. And then, but at the most opportune times, like the 4th down stop on the goal line, and then we had to punt into the wind, and they got the ball, at the 30-yard line, and we held them there. And then, again, that turnover, like you said, was huge. It's just our things came in bits and parts, And then they'd drive down. And then offensively, we'd be doing good things, and then we'd sputter at times. We just could never get it together. But with that said, we feel very fortunate to beat a really good Memphis team.
Coach, talk about the long, sustained drives. Obviously, time of possession was huge in the game. Obviously, keeping their offense off the field was a key.
Well, that was our game plan. That's always been our calling card of who we are. We try to limit possessions. All these up-tempo teams, they're used to getting possessions. They're used to other teams going fast. And so you kind of just feed into their frenzy when you go fast. But we're always methodical. We're going to eat the clock. We're going to try to chew the clock, keep them off the field. And, again, I thought Coach Jasper and offense staff did a really good job and, coming up with some designs, to get us some windows in the run game. And as Gene said earlier, Dale and the defense staff came with some really big stuff. We had to make some adjustments because they were kind of gashing us there at the beginning, and we made some really good adjustments on defense.
Back to Will a little bit. Can you just elaborate on how this kid's developed? As you mentioned, thrust into a difficult situation, and he just keeps getting better and better every week. And today was about as good a performance as you could see out of a triple option quarterback, I thought.
Well, the kind of our blueprint in recruiting is recruit good kids that are good players. And first and foremost, he comes from a great family. His brother Joe was on our team, probably one of the best leaders that I've ever seen, a phenomenal leader. But their family is such a great family, so he's come to our football team with great characteristics and great character. And we just build off that. And Coach Jasper, I also tip my hat to Ivan. Ivan's played over the years, we've changed quarterbacks, and he finds a way to get those guys ready. So it's a combination of a great kid that's worked his butt off, has never complained, has come from a great family, that's instilled great qualities in him, and he's coached by a really, really good coach that's really helped him develop.
Well, speaking of Ivan, a couple really gutsy calls. I thought 4th and 2. They put you in a situation of having to punt, kick a field goal into the wind. You chose to go for it, and that was a pretty clutch call to go for the pass there.
Yeah, phenomenal call on his part. Guys are wide open. But, Ivan's been doing that for a long time. He's been calling our games for almost a decade now, and he's as good as they get. He called a great game today.
Coach, going back to what you mentioned about the defense, as great as the offense was, after the first quarter, what was the difference in the defense? I mean, you really shut Memphis down in the second and third quarters.
Well, defensively coming to the game, we had some ideas of what we wanted to do, and we had to adjust. They're hitting us on some run plays, and so we just had to make some adjustments. And again, I thought our defensive staff did a really good job of not panicking, just changing some techniques and some alignments. And, you have to credit Dale and the staff for just coming up with some tweaks in our defense because they found some holes in our defense and we had to just, try to rectify. But that's football. You come out with the game plan. I mean, I don't know this profession. You spend all day in the dark watching video all day, and it's kind of a crazy profession. But then you get to the game, and then you just adjust. You know what I mean? Because you spend all day all week getting ready for people. But people, have their game plan, and you just find a way to adjust, and they did a really good job adjusting.
Well, if you could just talk about what this victory means for you in this conference race, because you are in a really good position, having beaten Memphis and Houston, owning the tiebreaker over them. You're undefeated in the West. Can you talk about what this means in terms of the conference race?
Really wax for us, it means we move on. You know what I mean? And that's the approach we have to take. If we start patting ourselves in the back and, read all our press clippings and do all this, you set yourself up for failure. In this profession and in sports, you just got to move on. You enjoy the victory for today. Our guys will enjoy themselves. But you don't look ahead and like, well, if we beat these guys and beat these guys. And, you just got to, we've set ourselves up, to control our own destiny. And we just got to move on, try to get some recovery time tomorrow, try to get healed up. We got a short week next week against a really good South Florida team. And, we're going to go down. I'm sure it's a lot hotter there in South Florida than it is right here, today. And so we got to get ready for the elements and just try to do the best we can in preparing.
We have questions for Coach.
Last defensive series where you were able to force a fumble there and set up the offense for that touchdown.
Number 2 came across the middle, caught it, tried to do a little bit extra, tried to get some extra yards. Just ran and just tried to make a tackle, make a play.
Defense just made so many stops at critical times. Just can you speak to that and kind of the clutch performances you had today when you had to make stops?
Yeah, that's kind of what we practice for, is to play good in the clutch time. So, it's nothing more than just what we do every day, is trying to better ourselves and, fight through it and just make good plays.
I'd ask Coach, and this could be for any of the three of you, I'd ask Coach, what was the difference between the first quarter and really the rest of the game on defense? You guys really tightened up. What was the difference? What were some of the adjustments?
Well, I think first we caught up to speed. We got to get a feel for how their offense is going to be. It's always one thing watching the team on film, but then actually getting a feel for it. And after that, we knew it was nothing we'd never seen before. We all had our jobs. Everyone was calm, and we just executed. And that's really it.
DJ, can you kind of talk about the fact that defense has just done whatever it takes against, in the game against Connecticut, the goal line stand at the end, and here when they have a chance to go down and tie, you come up with a turnover. It just seems like whenever the play needs to be made, this defense does it.
Honestly, I think that's a testament to how we actually live our life at the academy. Every student there, every football player, we really just have to do what it takes. And when it gets hard, we only have each other to rely on. And that's what it comes down to. Relying on the guy next to you to do his job, and it'll be okay. That's what we're coached, and that's what we're taught.
Probably going in this game, getting some pressure on their quarterback was probably a key factor. You had a couple sacks. Is that something Coach Pearson talked about going in?
Yes. So we knew we were going to get a little pressure on him. We knew where he liked to scramble and where he didn't like to go. We tried to force him to be uncomfortable, and it worked.
Tyler, what does this win mean in the grand scheme of things? You're in a great position now in terms of the AAC West and, maybe a chance to even host the conference championship game if things fall your way.
Well, I think we've been playing awesome in conference play, and we have to have a short-term mentality, so we're gonna celebrate this win now and enjoy it to the fullest, but we gotta get ready to turn around for South Florida on Friday.
Accounting for 5 touchdowns, rushing for 200 plus yards.
I mean, it's just the triple option we take what we can get, and today the quarterback run game was there, so took advantage of that and set up a couple pass plays to be able to score through the air. So, I mean, it's just executing the game plan.
And that final series, can you kind of take us through it? After defense got you the ball, I'm sure you want to get points there to kind of try to put the game away.
Exactly. We had the mentality of score to win, so we needed to get into the zone to be able to win this game. So the O-line did a great job driving them off the ball and being able to get down and get in the end zone.
Well, can you just talk about how you've developed since you took over as a starter? It just seems like you're getting better and better every game, and you look just very, very comfortable out there today.
I think that's the biggest thing, just get more comfortable with the game plan each and every week. And, I mean, it's been 4 years since I started a football game this year. So to be able to go out there each week and learn the nuances of the offense even more during live reps definitely helps.
Jameer, do you think that Will is making people forget about that kid Reynolds?
There's somebody before Will.
Seriously, can you talk about his development? I mean, this was a pretty virtuoso performance today.
I mean, it's crazy. You take a kid who's third on the depth chart and you move him up to 1, and you can see how he steps in and take control of the team. Just goes in the mentality of next man up. You know, we all work hard, and that shows. It doesn't matter who goes down. The next man's going to step up, and it's really, he's kind of embraced the culture, and he shows what our culture is. That's just toughness. You know, Will loves us, and it shows when he's out on the field. You know, you see that passion when he gets a tackle. You know, he's running through tackles. You know, making touchdowns. It's not just about him. He's going to celebrate with his teammates. You know, that really goes through the whole team, and you know, we love him for that, and I couldn't be more honored to be out on the field with him. I know Dyson feels the same, the rest of us feel the same.
Will, real quick on crucial play at the end of the third quarter when they called timeout and forced you to make a decision between kicking a field goal. Coach goes for it, calls a pass play, and Carmona was wide open. I guess you figured the guy can't miss him.
Exactly. I was just trying to get the ball right to him, be able to catch and score. But that's what Coach Jasper and the whole offensive staff tried some great pass plays to try and get people open, and it worked out for us.
This is for any of the three of you. Big third and fourth down conversions. Will, you obviously kept an eye on the play clock a lot today. You did 2 weeks ago against Houston. How big was that, keeping Memphis's offense off the field?
I mean, it's huge. That's the best way that we can help our defense is try to shorten the game for them, be able to control the clock, and the biggest thing with that, though, is being able to get points out of each drive. So.
Well, Dyson, to talk a little bit about the blocking that the slots did, because there was some tremendous blocks out on the perimeter that sprung guys, and it was all of you. I saw guys left and right making big blocks. Can you just talk about what you guys do for one another?
Yes, sir. We all work hard. We know that we're interchangeable on the field. If one guy is substituted out, another guy comes in and is expected to do the same. After last week's win, I told my guys to stay humble and stay hungry. And throughout this week in practice, we were hungry. We ran hard. We blocked hard. We knew this was going to be a tough game. We played tough.
Anything else for the offense, you guys? All right, thanks, guys.